Is having a social calendar important to you? Do you find that maybe you'll get invited to one or two parties or events, but then all of a sudden these things start to peter off? Well, perhaps you need these etiquette tips to improve your chances on getting invited back to events. Getting invited to different social events is really important to us. We all want to feel like we're part of a community. But if you are getting invited to maybe one or two social events here and there, but then all of a sudden it just feels so dry. You have these people around, but you're not really getting invited to many parties or different events. Well, here are some etiquette tips for you to have in your pocket to help you get invited back to all of these wonderful events. Number 1, be sure to RSVP promptly. Responding promptly to invitations, whether it's a yes, I will be there happily, or a I'm so sorry to have to decline. Either way, this really helps the host to plan for how many people are going to attend their parties. It shows that you respect the amount of time they take to plan their parties, and it shows that you care about them as a person to let them know if you're not able to attend, why you're not able to attend. Of course, you don't need an excuse, but it does allow the host or hostess to feel a lot better about inviting you in the future. Number 2, arrive on time. Punctuality is so important. If a host or hostess is very familiar with you being either incredibly late or incredibly early even to their events, then of course they don't want to invite someone who will continue to deter their plans for the day. Now you may be thinking, what's so wrong about arriving early to an event? Well, the host or hostess may still be getting their home ready for you, or even in the case of something that's not at their home, they may still be getting things together for you and the other guests before your arrival. So no more than 5 minutes for early arrival. Now, late arrival is really unfortunate as well. Perhaps you decide not to come until halfway through a social event, in which case you have to consider maybe 3 other people did that at a social event that only had 7 invitees there. Now half of the guest list has arrived halfway through the event. How devastating for the hostess. That would be horrible, a horrible look for you as well as the hostess. So consider some empathy here and arrive no later than 15 minutes, no earlier than 5. Number 3, be sure to dress appropriately for the event. If it's a garden party in the middle of summer, consider florals for ladies, dresses for sure would be a great option. Don't wear black to an event like this because it's the color of mourning, so you don't want to wear something that's outdoor in the beautiful sunshine and dress that way. Also consider looking at and paying attention to the invitation itself. What does it say the event is for the day? What will you be doing there? Where is the event located? And what time of day is the event? These all come into play when you're considering how you will dress for a social event. Being well groomed and dressed appropriately shows respect to the hostess and the other invitees as well. Number 4, bring a thoughtful gift. It's such a considerate thing to bring a hostess gift for either the event or the host, his or herself. Now, flowers are a lovely gift to bring. Bread, something homemade is always wonderful, I think personally. And when we moved here to this new neighborhood, a friend of ours lived here also, and she brought bread, homemade bread. This is wonderful. I didn't have any bread because we just moved here, and she brought homemade bread. So homemade items are a wonderful treat for a hostess. And of course, flowers, a card, something that could be used at that specific event is also really lovely. Maybe you can jam or something to that effect that can be set out at that event, or they can use later. Number 5, you're going to want to greet the host as well as the other guests. Don't walk into an event and you see your friend who's hosting the event and you completely walk past as if they're not even there. You want to greet the host, and then you also want to greet the other guests, of course. You want to be sociable, kind, friendly, approachable, so that way people want to be around you. You know, you don't want to go to an event and be closed off or isolate yourself and make the hostess feel as though she shouldn't have invited you at all because you're not being sociable. Be sure to be approachable, friendly, and kind at an event. Now, I feel like number 6 goes without saying, but I will put it in here anyway. Be sure to mind your manners and your etiquette. At the table, use proper etiquette and manners when eating. When you're discussing things with people and mingling, be sure to use clean language. We shouldn't be swearing anyway. Be sure to, if you've got smokers around, smokers should be out away from everyone. If smoking is even allowed at the event, just be sure not to do it around other people, especially if there are children at the event. Just be sure to be kind and courteous. Do not treat anyone any way that you wouldn't want to be treated yourself. Number 7 piggybacks off of number 6. Just be aware of the hostess rules and abide by them. If smoking is not allowed at the event, then you're not smoking during the event. If the hostess has his or her party indoors at their home and does not want shoes worn at their event, then you're not wearing shoes. Simple as that. If the host or hostess would like no one to enter the kitchen, a lot of hosts for parties are like that in private homes, then you're not entering the kitchen. If they want you to use a specific rest area, then that's the one that you use. Just be respectful and abide by the rules given to you by the hostess. Number 8, engage in conversations, not just small talk, but real conversations. And this is a wonderful one because it is reflected in some of the other etiquette tips today, but it really goes to show how well a party or event is going when the attendees are able to discuss things together, whether or not they agree upon a certain opinion or a certain thing of any situation. Then if they can all get along during this conversation, it really goes to show how well an event was put together with specific people in mind. Now, this doesn't mean that you need to pretend to agree with things that others are saying that are in the dialogue with you, but it does mean that you should be respectful of others' opinions, and if you don't agree, just agree to disagree. It's important to remember to not dominate a discussion, so that way everyone gets a chance to say their bit and have a dialogue within the group. And it's also important to show genuine interest in what everyone is saying. Now, again, you don't have to agree with what they're saying, but allow that dialogue to go both ways instead of you just showing your opinion off and encouraging everyone to agree with you. Number 9, limit smartphone use. Using your smartphone during a social event literally closes you off from everyone around you. You want to be engaged in the conversations, even if you're not the one speaking, and even if no one is speaking directly to you. Engage in the conversation until someone does, or until you have an opening to discuss something with someone. Tip number 10 is to offer assistance to the host or hostess. Now, there's a very good chance that they will say no, but it is always polite to offer and be willing to actually help when you offer. So if the hostess needs help cleaning up dishes, or maybe you're at an event with children and they need help picking up all the popped balloons off of the floor or something like that, always offer your help, even if the host or hostess will more than likely say no, thank you. Now, number 11, Be gracious in your departure. Be sure to thank the host and hostess for a lovely time. Be sure to say goodbye to some of the guests. Maybe you hit it off with a few of them, and what a great way to continue networking or making friends with those you wouldn't have met otherwise. And just be gracious and appreciative and thankful for being there. And finally, number 12, follow up with a thank you card. This is a really lovely way of telling the host or hostess you really, really appreciated being invited to their event. I hope these tips are helpful to you this summer with parties, and any party really, at any time of year, and helps your social skills and helps your social calendar grow a bit. Thank you so much for watching, ladies. In the comments, please let me know any etiquette tips that you'll be using at your next social event. And please like, subscribe, comment on these videos if there's something that interests you. Thank you for watching. Ciao.